Hello, everyone, and welcome to another live webinar brought to you by the Asian Seller and India Sourcing Trip. Today, I have with me the lovely, lovely, lovely Amy Weiss. Hi, Amy. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm doing great. It's really great to be here.
Yeah, thank you so much for joining us over here, Amy. And so people already know you. I mean, most of the people in in the e-commerce world know you, but for the few who don't, do you want to maybe give us a brief background and tell us what you do? And when did you start selling on Amazon? I mean, tell us your story.
Yeah, I'll try to give you the abbreviated version. Basically, I started when I was in the Air Force, and when I was in the Air Force, I just started flipping products. I had like textbooks and stuff like that, and I started flipping products online on Amazon and eBay in 2007. So that's kind of when I got the bug, and I realized like, oh, okay, I can get rid of stuff that's in my house and the stuff that I maybe don't need anymore. And then I started like going out to thrift stores and stuff like that. And anyway, then in 2017, I invented a product, and I went on this whole other journey that was separate from flipping products, and kind of started the private label journey and started my own brands. And then in 2018, I left my job, and now I do this full time. So it's kind of fun, and I'm enjoying helping other entrepreneurs get started as well.
Cool, awesome. So your presentation today, you've got some slides prepared for us. So you're going to talk about how to research market trends without using tools, because a lot of us are just so dependent on tools, but there are other ways to look for market trends. I mean, tools are just, something new, but traditionally retailers and anybody who's been selling, they've been using, market trends to identify products to sell. So
Yeah.
Amy, let's dive into it. Let's,
Okay.
why don't you share your slides and let's go for it.
All
So
right.
guys, while Amy is sharing her slides, I see quite a few people watching already. Hi, Brad. How's it going? Hi, Simone. So can I just request you, if you're watching this from within a group, can you please look at the post description? There should be a StreamYard link in the post description. Can you just click on that link and give StreamYard access to your profile so that we can see your name over here? Otherwise, this is what we see. We just see Facebook user. Okay. And of course, if you guys have any questions, feel free to type them in if you're watching on YouTube or LinkedIn, Facebook. Post your question in the comments. I'll read them out to Amy. You can post your comments during the presentation, and then of course after she finishes, we'll do a Q&A session as well. Okay. Hi,
Okay.
Lois. How are you? Okay,
All
let me just
right.
remove this banner from here. All right, over to you, Amy.
Okay. Well, let's get started. Megla did mention that we're going to learn how to find unique products, cool product ideas without tools. But we won't be without tools. I'll actually be showing you all kinds of cool tools that are mostly free that you can utilize to do this. It's just we won't be using product research tools. So how many people would
Right.
love to learn how to find cool product ideas that aren't showing up on product research tools? So a little bit about me. I kind of already introduced myself. I am a mom. I have two daughters, ages 10 and 13, and I'm married to my husband of 15 years now. And we are cat lovers, of course. My business is, my brands are related to cats. That's what started me on this whole journey. And I'm a military veteran, I'm an inventor, entrepreneur, a business coach, and a mentor. I have a podcast called the Amazon FBA Seller Roundtable. And I also co-own a company called Rebate Jet that has, kind of rebates and deals. So anyway, and then finally, of course, I'm a chick with cool friends because I have Megla here with me, and she's amazing, and she's taught me a lot of really great things. So let's get into it. What should we source now? So many of us are wondering, this picture that I have over here of these fashion trends that were published in 2020. Even when I was at Global Sources with Megla, they had all these cool little coves of trending colors, trending products, that kind of stuff. we all might wonder if these trends are going to kind of stick around now that, for example, these fashion trends, now that we're leaving the workplace and really hanging out at home, are we going to be wearing more leisure wear instead of some of this red leather going out gear? Who knows? And then maybe some of you have existing products. For example, maybe you're in the travel industry and you're wondering if your products that you have right now are good to continue with, if you should make more orders of them, or if you should, maybe pivot to something else. And then finally, maybe you had some new product ideas, or you're considering some new product ideas and you aren't really sure what you should move forward with. So we're going to kind of explain how to do all of that. So lucky for us, people have been trading goods and services since the caveman days. So it's not that complicated. We've got supply and we have demand. And there's some really great proven methods for figuring out what sells and what's in demand, and how we can be sometimes first to market with an unmet need or demand. So we're going to do that using market research, which is studying the market to learn what people want, and then validation, which is once we have our idea, we're going to verify that they're going to buy that product from us and not our competitors. So let's get into market research. This is our first step. This is how we start coming up with those ideas. This is how we start finding opportunities in the marketplace. So the questions that we need to answer when we're doing market research is we want to ask, number one, is it a growing or steady trend? So there might be sudden growth, but is that peak going to last? So for example, face masks right now, they're kind of a peaking trend, but are they going to last? If so, how long will they last? The second question is, are people asking questions about it? So what kind of searches are being done online? What kind of questions are people asking about this particular trend? And then finally, what kind of differentiations, as far as questions go, what kind of differentiations are people searching for? So are they looking for versus, with, and also, also looking at what top sites also rank for with related keywords? So we really want to understand what kind of questions are people asking, what kind of differentiations are people searching for. Number 4, what are people blogging about or talking about in this trend? Do you see really popular blog posts? I'm going to show you some tools that actually show like top blog posts and how much they're engaged with. And then last, what is the industry saying about this trend? There's tons of industry data that you can get your hands on. There is already data of who's buying certain types of products, how old they are. For example, I'm in the cat cleaning litter box industry. So, I can find out how many people in the US have cats. I can find out what their ages are. I can find out what kind of accessories they buy, where they buy them, online or in stores, all kinds of really cool information that really helps me understand my market even more. So now we're going to get into tools. What kind of tools can you use? Luckily, we have the beautiful internet. I can't imagine what market research was like back in the day. I remember when I was a kid, I'd go to the mall and there'd be people there with their clipboards and they'd say, "Do you want to take a survey?" It's so much better now that we have just immediate access to people's data, conversations that they're having, public conversations, of course, but we can find out what people are talking about. We can find out what they're interested in. And now that data is accessible to all of us. So some of my favorite tools to use for this, number 1 is Google Trends. So trends.google.com. You can see what the trends are. I'm going to show you examples of each of these. And then also a more recent one called Trendly, Treendly. I discovered that one. That one was pretty cool. I could see kind of what people are searching for. And what Trendly does versus Google Trends is it also pulls up all of those conversations from Reddit, the Facebook posts, the blogs, and it studies them to see if this is truly a trend or just a peak in search volume. And cart is another one that shows on Shopify, across all the Shopify stores, what kind of products are selling and how much are they selling. So those are some great trend tools. And then we have Answer the Public. Answer the Public is a tool that tells you what kind of questions people are asking about that particular topic. I'm going to show you this tool in action. Then we have keyword tools. I know we all, as Amazon sellers, we love keyword tools. They're amazing because if we can't get found online, we have problems selling our product, right? The customer can't find us, they can't buy from us. So I love keyword tools, but I also love to use just general keyword tools that check on keywords across the internet. And then we have the search bar. The search bar is literally my favorite keyword tool because all of these websites are search engines. You know, Google is so popular because they show the most relevant search results, right? People love to use Google over Bing or any other search engine because their search results are so relevant. Amazon is also a search engine. Their results, Amazon actually converts 6 times higher after searches than any of their e-commerce competitors. And that's because they do such a good job of showing customers relevant results. So all we have to do is start typing in the search bar and we will see those results. We will see what people are typing in, what people are interested in those auto suggestions that pop up. So it's a really great free tool to use. And then finally, as I mentioned, industry publications. I'm going to show you some examples of how you can pull those up. So let's get into it. I chose the trend, and I'm going to show you actually the whole process that I use, and I give a product idea at the end of this that I come up with after this process. I'm going to show you the whole process that I use, and I picked an example so that you could maybe apply these same steps to one of your own, topics or trends. So I picked baby shower because some people think that after COVID-19, there's going to be a lot of babies born. I don't know. So maybe you're considering baby showers or the baby industry. Let's check it out. So I put baby shower into Google Trends, and I see over the last 12 months, you can see down here, it's kind of declined, right? March to 2020 from April, it's kind of dipped. All right. Well, over the last 5 years, though, if we pull that up, we can see that it dips on a pretty regular basis, but then it recovers. So it's really important to not just look at the last year because you're only looking at a small snapshot in time, but you can also study a trend over multiple years and get a better idea of whether it's going to recover or not. Then we've got Answer the Public. This was that tool, remember, that when you put in the topic, it will tell you what questions people are asking about it. Normally, it shows it to you in this really cool looking diagram. It's like a circle, and it's covered in these little green circles. And the greener the circle, the more highly searched that question is. So for the purposes of this slide, I couldn't fit that whole diagram on there, but I showed it in kind of a spreadsheet view. We can see the questions people are asking about baby showers. Are favors necessary? Are games necessary? What baby shower gifts should we buy? When should a baby shower be done? How is a baby shower done? And then this one is really important right here. Can the baby shower with me? This is a common pitfall that we Amazon sellers sometimes fall into when we're choosing products. If we are searching just based on keyword and search volume, we might not know that some of that search volume is based on someone asking a question about this keyword in a different light, such as, can the baby shower with me? That's a different question, but it contains the same keyword. So we would want to do some more research about, wait a minute. How much of this search volume is actually coming from this topic, can the baby shower with me, versus baby shower games, for example. Then we have the differentiations. Remember, I said kind of search for what kind of things are people looking for. So we have and baby shower and gender reveal party. Those have been popular lately, right? People have really been doing a lot with gender reveals. They've been posting it on social media. So now with this, if I was considering a baby shower product or getting into this trend, I would want to go research gender reveals as well and make sure that either my product could work for both, or that I'm choosing that maybe gender reveal is more of a trend than baby shower, right? So I really want to look at these and go, oh, okay, wait, people are comparing them, so I need to also compare them in my research. Then we've got some verses over here. We've got versus gender reveal versus sprinkle. I don't know what sprinkle is, so I would probably need to look that up and find out more, just really understand the market. And then, baby shower like games, and baby shower or gender reveal. People are trying to decide. They're trying to decide baby shower or not, right? So it's really cool to kind of look up what kind of questions people are asking about it so that we can discover more. Now, Reddit is the coolest social media platform for looking up trends, because people can pretty much post anonymously on Reddit. It's not really it's not related to your personal profile. It's not like a Facebook feed. It's just people having conversations about topics, and these topics are covered in what's called subreddits. And so simply by searching on Reddit for baby shower, I can see that this one, for example, the perfect baby shower invitation, I can see it got 4,000 upvotes and it has 68 comments. I could probably glean some really great information from diving into that. This one has 19,000 upvotes. It's about a baby shower cake, right? Again, 192 comments of people talking about this, right? It's really cool, really great way to learn, to do social listening and really learn what people are talking about. So love Reddit for that purpose. Next, Pinterest. Pinterest is so awesome for this. And I'm showing you an example of how you can use the search bar to discover what else people are searching for, in this case on Pinterest. So I type in baby shower and I see ideas, games, themes, decoration, food, favors, gifts, all kinds of stuff. And then down here, I've got really popular boards. So these are boards with thousands of followers. And what that means is if someone adds a new pin to this board, everybody gets notified. So you might want to go and check out some of these boards that are really highly followed, because it could give you some great product ideas. Next, keyword tools. In this particular keyword tool, it's called Brand Overflow. I was part of their beta program, so I'm just kind of checking it out. It's very similar to Uber Suggest. It's another great keyword tool, Uber Suggest by Neil Patel. And Google Keyword Planner. There's lots of great free keyword tools. Keywords Everywhere. I love that tool. It's a Chrome extension that'll show related keywords in your browser. But in this case, I put baby shower into Brand Overflow, and I learned that there's other keywords that the top 10 websites also rank for. And so we've got some really interesting information, such as baby shower in India. Maybe I would want to look into that, because like weddings in India that take place in America, right? I have friends that are in that Indian wedding niche here in America, and they do quite well, right? Maybe there's a different type of baby shower in India that there's a American population for that we could serve, right? I would definitely want to look into that. Or maybe we could serve the baby shower population in India. I don't know, but I would want to search that, because if that's very high ranking in terms of baby showers, that's something I would want to look at. Then we've got baby shower decorations, baby shower ideas on a budget. We have a lot of baby shower ideas Pinterest. It's telling us people are looking on Pinterest. But whenever we have on a budget, or a lot of like cheap on a budget kind of keywords that are related, we always, like right here, cheap decorations for baby boy shower. We want to keep that in mind, because it could mean that people are not necessarily looking to spend high end when it comes to baby showers, at least not on decorations. So if we're in the decorations market, we might want to really be price conscious when we're launching our products based on our market research. So then we have in the same screen on Brand Overflow, we've got all of the ranking websites, the top ranked websites. So we can see Wikipedia is very, very popular here. And then we've got parents.com. But this one is another common pitfall I've seen Amazon sellers fall into. The third highest ranked is actually Party City, which is a popular retailer that sells party supplies. And what I've seen people do is launch products in e-commerce that people actually like to go to the retail store and buy. They don't like to buy them online. Or people can buy them in the retail store very, very inexpensively. And so somebody won't see that product on Amazon. That's the reason for it, right? And they will launch it on Amazon. And because of Amazon fees and all of that, they've got to sell it for kind of a higher price. And they're not making any sales. And often that's because that is a product that people like to buy in the store, or it's very affordable in the store. So that's just something to be aware of. If you see people really searching for Walmart or Party City or a big major retailer, that could be an indicator that this might not do as well online. It could also be an indicator that it would also do well online, for convenience, but you'd want to do your extra research there. So we can see some of this. We can also see, for example, this column shows us different engagements of each one on Facebook. So if I'm doing my market research, I'm going to go through and click on each of these and really check them out and see what they have to offer and why they're so popular. Next, what is the industry saying? So this is where we were talking about studying industry trends. This was that fifth question. All you have to do is Google industry trends and you're with your topic. So for example, I did baby industry trends. So you can see here, I can find out, data and forecasts on online baby product sales in the US, statistics, trends, forecasts. We can find out the CAGR, the growth rate of global baby products market size. All these things are really awesome data to find out. So for example, I know that there are 54 million households with cats in them in the US. And I know that people buy litter box accessories online and not in stores. And I learned all of that just from industry publications. So it's really good information for both your business planning and when you're doing your market research and thinking about your avatar. Next, I have this little screenshot over here of what people are buying, right? So I'm on Amazon and I'm just using my favorite free keyword tool, which is the search bar. And I put in baby shower and I can see, all right, people are looking for gifts, thank you cards, decorations. This gleans some information, what people are looking for online to buy. So now we can delve deep into any of these areas and look for opportunities. And I'm going to show you how to do that. So now we're going to dig deeper, right? So we have baby shower and then we have baby shower games. Let's say that we were like, okay, yes, I really want to get into this baby shower game thing. I have an idea. I want to encourage you, even if you already know that you're going to launch a baby shower game, I still want you to research baby shower as a main topic without the games at the end, because we just went through this whole exercise and you learned that gender reveal was something that people consider, sprinkle, baby shower in India was a very popular keyword phrase. So if we had just started with baby shower games and not the main trend topic, we might not have learned all of this great information, and we might have gone in and missed something that we could do for a gender reveal, for example. And then we have search volume for each. You can see baby shower gets 135,000 searches across the internet. And the PPC difficulty, what that means is that for the amount of searches and how many sites are trying to rank for that keyword, it's very, very difficult to rank for the keyword baby shower. As we can imagine, that's a very, basic, small main keyword. So it's not a long tail or, a more descriptive keyword. And then we've got baby shower games, which actually gets more searches. Isn't that interesting? And then again, it has really tough PPC difficulty. It's just information that is really good to know. All right. I've given you guys a ton of data, a ton of information about how you can study your market. But what I would recommend is that you actually use a framework, because there is so much data to be found, and it might get confusing when you're finding all this data and you aren't really sure what really applies to you or what order you should put it in terms of your business. So I recommend using a business planning template. My favorite one is from score.org. So you can just Google Score Business Planning Template and click on this, and it will really help you. It has step by step. It tells you exactly what you should be putting in your market research. And it's a really great template. It helps you kind of fill in the gaps in your business plan and overall in your marketing plan. So let's get into it. Now that we have an idea of, let's say we did the research and we looked and we know what the market is like, and we've done some of it here and kind of shown you some processes, but let's actually discover an opportunity in baby shower games. After we study the market, we want to know why they're going to buy from us and how much will they pay, right? We want to know the answer to those two questions. We want to know why they're going to buy from us instead of our competitors, because we're going to launch this product, right? We're going to put everything on the line. So we want to make sure that our differentiation or whatever we're launching matters to the market. And then finally, we want to find out how much they will pay, because let's say that I want to add lights to this water bottle, right? I want to add lights to this. I think that people could see in the dark with it. It would be great. And, I'm going to do that, right? Well, what if I ask them and they love it? They're like, yes, I get my coffee in the morning. I can't see on my way out to the car. This would actually be super helpful for me to have lights in my coffee mug or whatever, right? Well, if I ask them how much they'll pay for that product and they say, maybe like $3. I mean, that's like the price of a coffee mug, right? The problem that we have there is we probably can't source a coffee mug with lights and sell it and still be profitable if people will only pay $3. So we have to know what people will pay so that we can actually make sure that we're profitable. So are we doing okay so far, Megla?
Yep, we're doing good. We're doing good. We've got about 45 people watching here.
All right.
I'm sure people are taking lots of notes.
Okay.
Yeah, so all of you watching, if you have any questions, feel free to type them in over here. So yeah, keep going, Amy.
Okay, good. I'm just making sure. It was so quiet. Yep. I was like, man, I hope that I'm like still connected or something. Anyway, on this side of StreamYard, when you're presenting, you can't see anything but your screen. So
yes.
I'm glad you guys are still here. So let's get into validation. I'm going to show you guys how through this process, I actually found a cool product idea. So the questions that we want to answer, we had questions we wanted to answer during market research, right? Well, what are the questions we want to answer when we're validating products? So the first question we want to answer is, does my differentiation matter to the potential customer? So again, if I want to put lights in my stainless steel coffee mug thing here, right? Is this something people are searching for? Did we find that during our market research? Is this, something that, people are pinning, people are asking questions about? We want to make sure that they are, right? Does it matter to them? And then what do they think of it? It wouldn't be that hard for me to just take a picture of this mug and send it to somebody on Fiverr and have them put lights in it, Photoshop some, lights in it, and maybe a switch or something. And I could put that out there on Reddit in a coffee lovers group. And I could be like, hey, what do you guys think of this? It costs me nothing. I'm not giving up my idea because I'm putting a photo out there. Nobody knows that that product isn't already on the market, right? And they're going to give me unfettered feedback. I'm not going to ask them, I'm not going to introduce myself. I'm not going to be like, hi, I'm Amy Weiss, and I just did all this research, and I think you would really love it. I'm not going to sell it to them, right? I just want unfettered feedback. I want to know, do they understand it? Do they like it? What do they think of it? And then I'm going to ask them, once I get that feedback, I'm going to say, how much would you pay for that? Right? Because that's how I can make sure that A, they're going to buy it. Because a lot of people, if you do this exercise, you know, and I could go to Walmart, take my picture on my phone, my Photoshop picture. I go to Walmart and I could talk to the department store, the department manager of, you know, this section that sells these, and say, hey, what do you think about this? How much data do you think I'm going to glean from that? Right? And then I can ask them, you know, like, do you have any other products like this? You know, how much do you think this would sell for? You know, I'm sure they'd be happy to tell you, right? So there's a lot of really great information you can glean from just asking those two questions. And you can ask them in many different formats on Facebook groups and, you know, in all kinds. I'm going to show you some of the formats that you can ask them in, some of the forums, excuse me, that you can ask them in. And then do they prefer my version or the bestseller? So for example, if I come to market with this and I add, you know, my lights to it, and maybe Yeti does something very similar, are they going to buy mine, or are they just going to stay with the best seller? Are they just going to stay with Yeti because they trust that brand, right? The hard thing about this is, I was on a call the other day with a client, and this person was considering a product, and I looked at the results on Amazon, and I saw that there was really only one seller of this product that was doing well. The rest of them on the page, there was a lot of copycats, and the rest were not doing well. The one that was doing well was killing it. And I told my client, I said, this is a red flag. He was thinking, well, I could definitely improve because this listing that was doing well only had 3 stars in reviews. The photos were terrible. It was not great, right? So he was thinking, well, there's an opportunity for me because I can beat him. I can beat this seller in photos and in a listing and in all of that, even in price. And I can even differentiate the product a little bit, right? But the problem was when I looked and saw that all the other sellers on the page were not doing well and they seemingly had the same product, seemingly saw the same opportunity that they thought they could overcome, right? I said, that's a red flag. There's only one person doing well on this page. Let me go Google that brand. I went and Googled that brand, and they're in every store. They're in Bed Bath & Beyond. They're in Walmart. They were on every major e-retailer. So that's the problem, is in this client's case who was seeing this potential opportunity, he didn't understand where the traffic was coming from and why this brand was doing so well, despite them only having 3-star reviews and despite them having seemingly the same product as all these others, right? So you really want to make sure that whatever you're launching, whatever you're going with, that you can beat this bestseller or at least steal some of their market share. And in this case, I said, no, I don't think you're going to be able to steal their market share, because in this case, this was not really it wasn't a product that we could differentiate a lot, right? And the traffic that was buying on Amazon was not based on those reviews. It was based on, hey, this is the brand I know and trust, and I can buy in my local store, and I'm just conveniently buying it on Amazon, right? So anyway, I'll get off my I'll get off my soapbox on that. But then the last question you have to ask is, will they follow me to launch and beyond? So can you get them interested in your message? You know, if I really feel strongly and I've studied the market and people love lights in a coffee mug and they're just like, they're backed up behind it, are they actually going to buy this thing when I launch it? And are they going to be interested in other products that my brand launches? It's really great to know that you have a sustainable product that is going to have some staying power. So let's get into tools for validation. So when we validate, we can use tools like social media. So I talked about Reddit, I talked about Facebook groups, Pinterest. There's a ton of online forums that we can use, right? Then I talked about, well, I didn't talk about surveys yet. But I talked about surveys with the lady with the clipboard in the beginning. But we have Google surveys, for example. We have PickFu, which is really great. They show 2 pictures, and they have, you can even access old surveys that have already been done. You can go to PickFu's gallery, for example, and you can review all of their previous tests that they've done, or some of their previous tests that they've done. You can go to Google surveys and you can find out, all of the previous surveys that have been done, or you can run your own survey to their list of tons and tons, thousands and thousands of respondents that meet your target audience. And then finally, captive audiences. Maybe let's say you're already selling Mary Kay makeup, right? And you've got a ton of people, you've got a lot of people that you can talk to about makeup, and you've decided that you're going to do something that is in that niche. Well, you have a captive audience there, right? So it's really important to utilize the audience that you have. Maybe you build up a Facebook group for me, cat lovers. I'm going to build up a Facebook group of cat lovers. And now I have a captive audience for great feedback, right? So let's get into how I found this cool product idea. So the first thing I did is I went to Pinterest and I saw this really popular pin. And it was 21 baby shower games that don't suck. So I went into this article and I started reading the ideas that this blog article mentioned. And the first idea was to create nursery art. So the idea behind this is we have a canvas and all the guests come over to the party and they each kind of paint a little something. And I thought, oh, wow, well, that's a potential opportunity. I could make that into a product. Maybe I could sell a kit with paints and brushes and a canvas and instructions. And, that would be a cool baby shower game, right? It's trending. So I go on Amazon and I start looking for similar products. I type in nursery artwork and I don't really get great suggestions. And I go into nursery artwork canvas thinking that maybe I would see like some kits, right, to make nursery artwork, but it really was just already done nursery artwork. And then I looked for similar products or similar kits in baby shower games and baby shower game kits. And I didn't really find anything that was promising. So what I did find is I found these fingerprint canvases. And they come with the ink pads and it's like a tree and, everybody comes and leaves their fingerprint. And you can see they're not really selling that well. And look at the price points. Yikes, right? So I was like, okay, this is probably not a great idea. I can't really, it doesn't seem like people are looking for this or wanting to buy something like this. And then the stuff that's already out there isn't selling that well. And then I see related keywords over here in my keywords everywhere extension. And I can see people are searching for painting canvas baby shower, paint and sip baby shower ideas. And then I think, oh, well, maybe that's more of a paint and sip kind of thing. And then I type in Google. I try to look for this product searching Google because I've already looked on Amazon. Well, let me search on Google. So I look for nursery art baby shower game. And I don't really see anything, right? I don't see products, at least. I just see Pinterest pins and baby shower completed wall art on Etsy. So I'm moving on. I'm going to the next idea in this blog. And the next idea in this blog was talking about how people were painting baby blocks, the little blocks that babies play with, right? The little alphabet blocks. And I thought, okay, well, that's interesting. Let's look for that. So I type in wooden blocks and I get wooden blocks baby shower, the first suggestion. Wow, people are looking for it on Amazon, right? Wooden alphabet blocks for baby shower. Okay, people are looking for it in multiple ways, specifically for baby shower. You saw the results that we got for art canvas. It was not that great, right? So here was the picture over here. Here was the picture from the blog post of what you kind of needed. And so when I looked for wooden blocks baby shower, these were the results, just the wooden blocks. And these wooden blocks are selling pretty well. I mean, 8,000 in toys and games. That's pretty awesome, right? 16,000 in arts, crafts, and sewing, not too bad. So I know people are searching for this and they're buying it, and nobody's selling this kit to make these. So now I start to see some opportunity. So I'm going to research this further at this point. I need to answer some questions. Remember, does my differentiation matter to the potential customer? Well, I know that people are searching for supplies to make these blocks, and I know that they're buying them. So yes, my differentiation matters. What do they think of it? I don't know. Maybe what I could do is I could source a kit. Like I could just go to the local craft store and get all the supplies and put them online and see if anybody buys them, right? I could see if I could get some customer feedback or if they even sell. How much would they pay for it? I'm not sure. I don't know how much they would pay for it. Like we saw the blocks, they were pretty cheap, right? So I don't know if it's going to be enough money to make this work. This is the part where a lot of people, they just get confused and they're not sure and they feel like, oh man, what do I do? I shouldn't move forward. I'm not sure, and many people book a call with me at this point and go, what should I do? So I'm going to show you what to do. I'm going to show you how we can find out this information. So now we're going to go back to our validation tools, right? We're going to find out what do they think of it and how much will they pay for it. So I'm going to start by just a simple Google search. I start searching for DIY baby shower blocks. And look at what I find on Google. A ton of people are selling these on Etsy. And look how well they're doing. This one's $24.99. It's got 1,489 reviews. That means they've sold a whole bunch of these and that people like them. And then we've got some newer ones on the market that only have 138 reviews and 282 reviews, but the reviews are awesome and they're at even higher price points. Remember, we couldn't find a similar kit on Amazon. So there's a huge opportunity here. People are looking for these blocks. They're looking for these kits, but the only place we can find them is on Etsy. So we've got some opportunity for mass market here, and we know how much they will pay for these blocks, and we know how much they'll pay for these kits. So let's see what we can do. So now we can say, all right, we know that they'll pay $35 to $38. Plus, I'm going to include an instruction card, excellent branding. My stuff's going to look legit, right? I can source the blocks for $1.66. And this is just local sourcing. This is just what I can buy from the craft store, right? I can source the blocks for $1.66. I can source the Mod Podge for $2. I can source printables and markers for $1 each, making my total sourcing cost only $5.66. That means I have 7x margins with room to grow. Amazing, right? Amazing. Here's a product opportunity that's worth trying. All right, then the next question, do they prefer my version or the bestseller, Old Faithful? Well, right now there isn't a bestseller, at least not in this version, and you can only find it on Etsy. So a brand dedicated to this on the mass market would be welcome. People are looking for it, we know that. Will they follow me to launch and beyond? Well, I have a plan for this, right? I'm gonna plan for my business. I'm going to use that framework. I'm going to make sure that I have put out some content on DIY baby shower ideas and kits. I can submit my blogs to major parenting publications. I can do some press releases. I could have an email sign up for launch. And bottom line, I can always research further. So be careful not to get too far into analysis paralysis, right? And to fail to launch. But the bottom line is I can always research further. I can always do better. But this looks pretty good right now. It looks like a pretty cool opportunity. Any one of you watching right now can go ahead and steal this idea because I'm not in the baby market. So help yourself. All right. But then you might have the same problem as product research software where you're launching the same idea as 100 other people. But I can guarantee you're not going to find this idea on product research software, because product research software only shows you what's selling. It doesn't show you what's missing from the market. And that's what I've just taught you how to do. I've taught you how to find out what's missing from the market, what's trending, and what's missing. And you saw, I found that by reading one blog post and following a process, right? So it's really, really not that hard to do. We can use free tools. And, it's really a great way to find ideas that other people aren't going to be launching and that are going to meet demands that people are crazy about. So in review, you've got these proven methods. Don't overcomplicate it. Remember, people have been trading goods and services since the caveman days. It's supply and demand. So we just got to do our market research to learn what people want and what they're talking about. We need to find opportunities. We want to dig deeper into our niche. We want to narrow down those opportunities, and then we want to validate them. We want to know that they're going to buy it from us. We want to make sure that our differentiation matters to them. We want to know that they are going to pay enough for it for us to be profitable. And we want to know who is our following and how will we engage them. And that's it. So that's what we covered. I would love to take your questions. And then we can get into mastermind stuff, right, Megla?
Cool. That was awesome, Amy. That was like really good. So many new ideas. I mean, I think most of us, when we think of product research, we generally think of, Amazon specific product research like Helium 10 or Jungle Scout, those kinds of tools, but we don't really think off of Amazon. So I think that really sparked quite a few ideas from me myself. But how do you validate demand on Amazon? Because a lot of times, I mean, we look at Helium 10 and we look for keywords that people are searching for, and long tail keywords where there isn't too much competition. So do you also use those tools to validate your ideas on Amazon specifically?
Yes. So definitely for example, with this baby shower game, what I did was I looked at the products that were similar that are selling. Right. So we looked at the blocks and we kind of saw the ranks of those, and we look at, how well those things are selling. We look at, how many, I do a lot of reverse searches of competitors to see, what other keywords they might be ranking for, that kind of stuff. But ultimately, you're validating the demand on Amazon by looking for those holes. You know that the opportunity is in the market from your market research, right? And you know that people are looking for this, but we just learned they can't find it on Amazon. So the demand is there and it's not available on Amazon or in any store. So it's just a really great way, but it is available on Etsy. I know so many people look at Etsy. They study Etsy for those opportunities and ideas. But yeah, so this is just a way for you to validate that there's a market for something and find opportunities. And then, once you get on Amazon, let's say there's a very similar product. So let's say that we would have gone to that the baby blocks thing turned up an actual, like somebody else was selling this kit and it was selling really, really well. Well, then I would be very, very careful about launching one exactly like that. I would really study the market more and see if there was another opportunity or a differentiation that I could do to that blocks kit that would make it better than the current seller, where I could steal some of their market share. Because again, a lot of people just make this assumption that they can automatically get the market share from a competitor. And I think that is a false assumption if you're not really doing anything different.
Right. Let's take some questions over here. We'll talk about your mastermind in a bit.
Yeah.
I removed those slides temporarily. Okay, so Simone is saying, I get confused on Etsy with the reviews. Most sellers have multiple products, but you can't see how many of one product was sold. The review numbers are bunched with all their other products. How do you differentiate? Yeah, that's what I found on Etsy as well. It's like, how do you know which specific product is selling?
Yeah, you can't really determine how many of something is selling. There's some advanced techniques with scraping and some stuff you can do there. But if you're not a techie nerd, then you might just have to go off of reviews, right? You might have to look from the screenshot that I showed you guys on the last one was, we had 1,400 5-star reviews. So we know that product has sold multiple times, right? We know that people have bought it and that they like it. And then the new one, it was a higher price, but it had over 100 reviews. So that's what I would do, is just kind of look at it and go, okay, these are selling pretty well. Now, if all you find is a product on Etsy and it has like no reviews, I don't know. Maybe it's not selling well on Etsy. I would look at how well are they using keywords. Maybe they're just not good at, SEO. You saw in our Google search, we couldn't even find that until we put in DIY. And then all of a sudden these showed up on Etsy. So, I wouldn't utilize Etsy alone, but it's one data point to give us confidence.
Right. So Raj is saying, I learned something new today. Thanks, Amy. Brad is saying, I learned so much. Awesome.
Thanks, everybody.
Yeah. Let's see. Lynn is saying, love your thoughts. Fresh way of thinking.
Thank you,
Fantastic.
Lynn.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so here we've got a question. How do you come up with a place to start digging baby showers? You do a touch list, just read blogs, or do you have any other digging tools? Great session. Yeah, and that's something that I struggle with as well. Like, where do you start? Like, what category do you look at?
Well, that's something so interesting, Megla, because a lot of people are afraid to get in. Like, something we're doing in the mastermind this month is we're doing niche discovery, because a lot of people are afraid to discover their niches that they're interested in because they assume that there's too much saturation in that niche. So I can't tell you how many times I've been on a coaching call with a client and they're like, well, I'm really interested in fitness, or I'm really interested in cooking, but there's no it's too saturated. I can't do anything with that. So we've got to change the mindset from searching for products as solutions and look at what people are talking about, what people are asking questions about, what people are interested in, to find those opportunities. So to answer your awesome question, it's really just figuring out what are your interests, because you're going to do the best with the things that you're interested in, and just start with those topics. Start with that topic at the, go back and watch this webinar again and go back and look at, okay, what was the first, the first step is actually just researching the topic and reading what are people blogging about, what are people talking about on social media, and start, just really getting into it. And then, you're going to then start digging into one of those subtopics, right? So for example, we started with baby showers. So maybe we start with, for example, I'm big into CrossFit and weightlifting. So maybe I start with Olympic weightlifting, but then maybe there's some subtopics in there. And, people, maybe we're talking about, okay, weights for Olympic weightlifting or barbell accessories, and I can start kind of getting into like techniques. Maybe we're talking about different techniques, and then that leads us to other opportunities. But yeah, so definitely just start at your main topic and just start going down the rabbit hole. And before you know it, you'll discover some really cool opportunities.
Yeah. I also think that sometimes going down the rabbit hole, people tend to get confused because there's just so many things that you find along the way. So do you have any suggestions on how to, manage all of this information and data? Maybe is there a method that we can use to document all of the data, or is there, like a spreadsheet where we can actually, put all of these numbers and just do it in a more structured way?
Yeah, so you definitely want to make a list of your ideas. Miguel is bringing up every single thing we're doing in the mastermind this month. You want to come up with your ideas, your list of ideas, right? So what I love, the first thing that we're starting to do in the mastermind this month, we're starting with understanding your numbers, because so many people don't understand their numbers. They launch and then they find out they're not making any money. And that's the wrong way to go about it. So we're starting by teaching people how to understand their numbers and the different types of products that we can launch. We did that session tonight. But getting into the numbers, understanding that, and then we're starting to talk about how to come up with ideas. And there's so many different ways to do that. Somebody mentioned touch lists, and the touch lists are everything that you touch in a day, you write it down, right? So and maybe you're thinking about it from, okay, for example, I want to encourage people. That's my thing. That's what I'm passionate about doing. I want to encourage people. So you write down everything you touch in a day: the bath towel, the the squeegee, the coffee cup, and you write everything down. And then at the end of the day, you go and you look at your list and you go, oh, could any of these items be changed to offer encouragement? Could I put an encouraging message on the bath towel? Could I, is there something that I could do, right, to change this market that would really take off, right? And then you start kind of digging into the market research further. So you go through the same process every time, but there's many different ways to discover opportunities. The other way that I love to do is I love to break down situations. So I love to think about like throwing a party at home, right? The thing that a lot of people get stuck in is they go, okay, I like to cook, but pots and pans are too saturated. Oh, that's not going to work. Okay. And then you get stuck or you start researching pots and pans and then you're in this rabbit hole forever. Don't do that. Start by thinking about your cooking experience. You're cooking dinner for your family. So what specific meal are you cooking? Maybe you're having a dinner party, right? What are you doing? Okay, first I got to plan out the recipes. Oh, crap. My recipes are everywhere. Oh, maybe a better thing for my shelf to help with my recipe books. Okay, I'm going to write that down. All right, keep thinking through. What's the next thing? Okay, all right, after I get my recipe out, then I got to get out all my ingredients, all my spices. I hate that. I can never find the right spices. I'm always like emptying out my whole cupboard, and then I think of all these ideas of different spices and different organization things I could do. And I write those things down. And then I go to my cooking process and I start working through that. And I'm like, okay, oh man, this pan always burns me because of this, or okay, I'm write down that idea. So now you're going to go through your list of ideas and you're going to do the same thing. Market research and validation every time, market research and validation. So that's kind of how you can, those are just some of the ways that we go through and we generate ideas. My goal is always to turn people into an idea machine, because once you're turned into an idea machine, you can't stop it. You will see ideas everywhere. And then all you have to do is learn how to put those ideas into a list and validate them. And so that's what we're focused on, is teaching you guys how to come up with really awesome ideas. And then we teach you how to actually, prioritize your ideas. What ideas are winners? What ideas aren't winners? What ideas can you very easily mark off the list, right? And then we take all of those ideas and we turn them into products. We put those products on a list, and that's when we start going through our Amazon tools and our rankings and our keywords and our sourcing potential and our profit potential. And then we rank those. And so that's basically the whole month of May in our mastermind group. That's what we're doing. We're coming up with ideas, and then we're ranking them, and then we're turning those into products, ranking those. And then at the end of the month, the goal is when we all go to Canton Fair and we attend Canton Fair virtually together, we have some awesome products that we're ready to source, or we've really done a great job of moving forward with some of the ideas that we might have had and knowing whether those are like the best ideas or maybe existing products. We want to adjust those a little bit.
Right. And we also saw quite a few interesting products at the virtual India sourcing show that we did last week. So I think that's a good place to start as well. I mean, there are already some products over there. Maybe, do some research and see if there's any market demand. So Brad is asking, can you please repeat the free keyword tools you used? Uber Keywords was one.
Yep. Uber Suggest was the one. I love Uber Suggest by Neil Patel. And then I also use Brand Overflow, and you can use that tool for free for a few searches. Definitely check out Trendly, because Treendly, because it shows you keywords and then results of those trends. It's all curated into one. Keywords Everywhere was the Chrome extension that shows me in any of my searches. It shows me related keywords right in the browser. It's awesome, right? So those are my
free.
There's a free version. It used to show the search volume used to be free along with it. Now you have to pay for search volume, but you have these other tools for search volume. So,
yeah. Okay, let's see if we have more questions. Thank you, Amy. That was very informative. Ooh, let's see who's here. Baptiste, my favorite ladies of e-commerce. Hi, Baptiste. How are you? Okay, so Louise asking, so interesting. I have found products that aren't on Amazon. Wait, she has there's another part of this question. Sorry, but then don't know how to research if they would see. Thanks so much, Amy. I guess what she means is she's found products off of Amazon, but she doesn't really know if people are searching for those products on Amazon.
Yeah. So remember always, Louise, to start with, or Lois, excuse me, to start with the market. So you'll run into a dead end every time, nearly every time, if you start with products. If you start with the solution, you're going to get stuck in a rabbit hole and you're going to be like, oh, I don't know how many keywords. I got to look. Oh my gosh, this is so confusing. So you've found some ideas that aren't on Amazon yet, but now go back and study the market for those ideas. Go back through this process and study the market for those ideas. So find out, are people talking about it? Answer all those questions that I put in the market research questions. And then as you see opportunities for this product, then go through after with this topic in mind, then go through and validate the idea.
Right. So Dana's saying, great idea, the touch list. Okay, so is this method drive me to find products that it's not listed on Amazon?
Not necessarily. You will probably find, in this case, yeah, we found products that were listed on Amazon that were not selling well, right, in the fingerprint painting thing. And then we found products that were also listed on Amazon, just not in the trending topic, not in the version of the trend that we found, right? So the baby blocks were already on Amazon and they were selling well, but they weren't available matching the exact trend that we found that we saw was selling on a DIY marketplace. So it's not necessarily, this is not a new or interesting technique. This is the same technique that has been taught for years. I mean, this is the basis of business planning and understanding your market. So it's not really a new technique. It's simply an age-old technique that buyers for major retailers have used for years, so it's really what I recommend before you start getting deep. I know that we have been trained in the Amazon community to just products, but often then we don't find opportunities, right? We don't find the opportunities of what the market is demanding, because if we're only using the tools that show us existing products and not differentiations that people are searching for, then we might not get there, right? So there's nothing wrong with that product already being on Amazon, but then you're going to want to look at it from a perspective of, okay, remember our validation questions? Can I beat the bestseller? Can I steal some of the market share? Does my differentiation matter to the market?
Right. So someone is saying, thanks, Amy and Megla. Great ideas as always. Raj is saying Trello is a great app to organize tasks. Yeah, absolutely. We've got a couple of questions about the mastermind. We'll just come to them. So Simone is asking, is your main platform Amazon?
Yes, absolutely. My main platform is Amazon. As I mentioned, I've been on Amazon since 2007. I love Amazon. It's a great place to start with new products. But I do like to expand channels off of Amazon because it's great to sell on your own website. It's great to sell in other e-retail channels, and even in brick and mortar if that's the right, place for your products. Just because, if you ever lose the Amazon sales channel or that sales channel changes, then your whole business isn't completely gone.
Right. Okay, so Louise is saying, haha, I have too many ideas, but don't put them into products. Yes, I think that's where many people get stuck. There's just so many ideas, but we don't know how to validate them and put them into practice. So no, it's Treendly, right? Treendly.
Yes, 2 E's.
Maybe 2 E's, yeah. Maybe we can just put together this list of the tools that you mentioned, Amy, and then we can put it in the post description later.
Sure.
Okay, thank you for such great information. Sure. Okay, we've got one question here from Grant. So there was mention to use a survey to ask how much people would pay. Do you give people a choice, 5, 10, 20, 30, or do you just let them type in the price?
I would, it depends on the survey platform, right? Some of them are going to give you that option, but I would do multiple different ways of finding out. Ultimately, I would try to start with if you have a Reddit, a subreddit conversation that you could ask the question in, somewhere where you're not having to do a survey immediately. You know, even like I mentioned, going to a department store and asking a couple strangers. You don't want to ask your mom. Your mom loves you and she's going to tell you, she'll pay whatever you want, dear. That's not what you want, right? You want to really learn from what a stranger is going to say. In our previous course, we had people actually go out and ask like 10 strangers. We gave them terrible products and like pictures of terrible products, and we had them go ask 10 strangers, what do you think about this and how much would you pay for it? And the feedback that they got was amazing. In fact, I got a great product idea from the feedback of one of the products that I did this exercise with, because I always do the exercise with my students, right? So I went out and did this, and I was like, man, this is going to be terrible. I'm so embarrassed to have to ask about this product, right? But the feedback that I got was so awesome that it actually showed me what differentiation would have mattered and that people would pay for it. So it was cool. But yeah, so I would just recommend going out and asking some strangers first. And because, you know, asking a stranger is free. And then once you get some ideas in your mind, then utilize surveys to take that one step further.
Right. Okay, so Mohammed is saying, you mentioned starting with numbers first. Could you please explain it more?
Well, Mohammed, the biggest problem that I see, over 80% of the people that I talk to on coaching calls are not making any money. They're not making any money. They are paying way too much for sourcing their products, and they're stuck in a price war because they're launching very competitive products, and they're paying way too much for advertising because it's a competitive product. So many people don't check the cost per click of their main keyword before they consider a product. Hemp is a good example. Do you know how much that keyword costs? It could be like $11 to $20. So if you don't have that kind of budget to pay $11 for a click, you're gonna run out of money. And my goal for everybody that I work with is to have a profitable business that allows them to do what I'm able to do. I was able to leave my job and do this for real full time, right? So that's what all of us want. None of us just, I mean, if you want a side gig, that's okay too. That's how I started flipping products on Amazon. But if you're really wanting to do this as your business, you need to understand what profitability means. So I'm going to teach you how to look at what your cost per click is, how your advertising costs, what are your startup costs going to be. So many people get inventory and then they don't have enough margin, and then they keep borrowing to buy more inventory because they have not even enough profit left per unit to even buy another unit. So then they keep borrowing more and more and more money, and they're just upside down in their business with no way to recover. So that's why I always start with the numbers, teaching people how to not be upside down, how to make sure that their business is profitable and scalable from the beginning.
So here's another question from Chen Tiansheng. So will there be an infringement issue to copy the product design I see on Etsy to sell on Amazon, which the supplier could make it for me?
No. If somebody's selling on Etsy, most likely they are not patenting their product, right? Etsy is for handmade. Now, the product design, if it's art, absolutely, you will be committing copyright infringement, right? So if it's art, yes. But in this case of just these baby blocks and some Mod Podge and, you know, some printables, you're not copying anything. You're just bundling a product together and putting it on Amazon. If you're stealing somebody's design that they put on a t-shirt or that they painted on an artwork and you try to put that on a beach towel or something, yes, absolutely, that would be copyright infringement.
Right. So someone's saying here they chose the wrong product. Simple. I think this was related to the previous discussion we were having. Okay, awesome. So we don't have any more questions. Let's talk about your mastermind. So do you want to tell us how it works and what's included?
Yeah, sure. Let me just make the slide big again, just so it's a little easier to see. So how it works is you actually get you get 60 days of content for every month. So it's $49 a month at the base level. And you can go check out all the levels at the website there. And you can reach out to me with any questions. But basically, it's a Facebook group. And we also have a Slack channel that we chat in. But it's a group of founders. And here we are helping each other, building each other up. And then I have my private label course curriculum being presented. So last month, we did listing optimization. We did a listing optimization masterclass. This was a 10-lesson masterclass. We had incredible results. We even taught you how to do A+ content, how to create A+ content. And so you get that. So if you join now, you get the listing optimization, that whole class, those 10 lessons on listing optimization. I mean, it is so thorough. You could literally start your own agency after that class. It is very thorough. And then, I walk you through. But then this month, what we're doing is like today we did what business model is right for you. So we talked about commodity products and private label products and unique products and white label products. A lot of people are actually white labeling and they're calling it private label. So just explaining some of that and the risk and rewards of each. And then 2 times a week, we will go live. And you can either catch the live session or you can catch the replay inside of the group. And we teach about maximizing profits, understanding your numbers, understanding how to build a scalable business. And then from May 11th through the 28th, we're actually working all the way through how to do market research, and then how to prioritize your ideas, how to validate them, and then how to actually prioritize your product list. So really, we want you to come out of this month's mastermind with a great sourcing list where you can source anywhere. I don't, of course I have a China sourcing trip, but I don't, I think people should source their products from whatever is best for their business. So if your product is better sourced from India, that's where you should source it from. I don't limit what I teach and where to source it from. I just teach people how to come up with great ideas and how to source them at a profit. And so that's what we're focused on this month. And so if you join, you get the last month's content as well as this month's content. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We have, like I mentioned, we also do focus on some other hot topics. Like, for example, right now we're talking about Google Shopping, how to get your products up on Google Shopping. We're also talking about merchant fulfillment. A lot of people have FBA products that are not selling right now or that are delayed. So we're talking about how you can merchant fulfill and use your FBA inventory to fulfill it and get around those delayed shipping guidelines. And then, people are just posting questions in the group all the time. Like today, somebody asked about taxes. Somebody else asked about, whatever founders are struggling with at the time. We're there to help each other. What's great about a mastermind is, it's a paid group where people are paying to be there and committed to getting what they can out of it. So it's a wonderful opportunity, and you're getting so much content and so much value for only $49 a month. It's just almost like I'm giving it away. I am. But
so we have another question here. I've gone through your mastermind page. There are 3 tiers. How do I get started as a beginner? Yeah. So which tier is right for a beginner?
So I would recommend you just start with the $49 tier, because that way you can get a feel for the mastermind group, right? And you can kind of decide it. You do save 10% on all of our services as well. So if you need coaching or something like that, you save an additional 10% on those services, as well as, we have partners like Megla, and so you also get amazing discounts and just cool promotions from our partners. But bottom line, I recommend everybody start at the base level. And at the $99 tier, you do get access to our course library. So we have a course library of, we have the listing optimization course in there, and we have we have Google ads to your Amazon listings. A lot of people don't utilize Google ads, and Yeah. If you're not utilizing Google Ads, we need to have a talk because they are incredible. So we have a little course on that. And then we have another one on how to file reimbursements. A lot of people leave money on the table with Amazon. They don't realize Amazon owes them money. So we have those 3 courses in there. And then as we do this new concept to launch course, we'll be editing it and uploading it into the course library. So at the $99 level, you get the access to the course library on demand, right? Where everybody at the $49 level just sees those courses inside of the Facebook group, those live sessions. So
Simone is asking, who is we? Could you elaborate, please? I don't quite understand. Maybe does she mean who are the coaches? Simone, could you elaborate on your question, please? Do you mean who are the coaches in the mastermind? Okay, we'll get back to Simone's question. So someone's asking, do you limit the number of people in the mastermind?
At this time, no. We don't have a limit on the number of people. Not at the base level. As far as the one-on-one stuff, our higher levels, those would obviously be smaller groups.
Right. So Lynn is asking, is this a yearly subscription or is it just per month?
It's just a bi-monthly subscription. So you can upgrade, downgrade, or cancel at any time. I want you to have value out of it. And so, that's how we're working it.
So it's a 2-month mastermind, right? And what happens after the 2 months are?
So, well, it's not, you pay at each month, right? So when you sign up, you're paying for a monthly subscription until you cancel, right? So like right now you have access to the previous 30 days and the current 30 days of whatever we're teaching. And every month we'll bring out new content. And so it'll be 60 days at a time. So at the end of May, the listing optimization course will be archived to the course library and will only be accessible to the people at the $99 level. And everyone at the $49 level will still get everything from May, because sometimes we business owners need time to catch up, right?
Yeah.
It's hard to watch all the videos all the time, so sometimes we need time to catch up. So we've got the 60 days in there.
Yeah. And sometimes, the reason I like masterminds is you can get together and, have conversations. And I think that really helps instead of just watching a video. Of course, if you're just starting out, it helps to watch some videos and just get your foundation right and have a strong foundation, understand the basic concepts. But I think as you're growing, it really helps to, have a support system. Okay, so Simone is saying, yes, who are the masterminds? So yeah, who are the coaches? So there's you, and then you've got, is there anybody else? You are, we don't need anyone else if you're there.
It is mostly me, but we do have some really awesome, just great mentors that I also trust and love. So we, for example, Megla's in our group, and we have a lot of really great minds in the industry that are in our group kind of helping out with things. And then I also have, for example, I bring in experts at various times because I'm not a lawyer and I'm not an accountant and I'm not all the things, right? So I definitely bring in experts as needed. We have patent attorneys, we have product designers, we have all kinds of just, 3D CAD people and suppliers and, sourcing agents and all kinds of awesome experts, logistics experts, you name it. So yeah, you have me, but I'm just one girl. So you have me, you have all of the founders, you have all of our partners that are experts in their fields. And then you have all of the experts that we bring in to talk about various things throughout the curriculum.
Right. Okay, so Chen Tiancheng is asking, how much in minimum do we need to do this business? I guess she's asking what's the minimum you need to invest to start this business?
Yeah, this question, people are always asking this question. Chen, it completely depends on your plan, right? So what is your product and what is your plan? So this is where your business plan comes in. Remember that score.org business planning template I talked about? So let's say that you find a product idea and you're like, wow, okay, I've done the market research, I've done the validation, this is really great. Well, then it's time to get to your business planning to determine what your startup costs are going to be so that you don't run out of money, right? Because you don't just want to okay, I need $1,000 to buy inventory. and that's all I have. And now I'm stuck, right? So for example, when I did my business plan for developing my first unique product, I learned that I needed $80,000 to get through my first year because I needed to pay for my website. I needed to pay for my marketing. I needed to pay for my first round of inventory. I had to pay for molds for my particular product, which was huge. My molds were huge. They're really big and they were very expensive. That doesn't mean that everybody's business is going to cost them $60,000 to get started. It's just what mine cost me. It's what I needed to prepare. So, now all of that is good to go and, paid off and all of that fun stuff, and we're profitable. But in the beginning, it was, you've got to really plan for this. If you study the retail business model, most people are not profitable the first year because they're either they're taking on debt to get started in their business, or they're very inventory heavy, right? They have a lot of money tied up in inventory, and then they run out of stock, or they're almost out of stock and they got to reinvest whatever profits they have back in to grab more inventory. So it's just really important to do your plan first so that you understand what you're getting into. This is not a business that you're going to be able to pull $1 million out of your first month. It's not going to work that way, right? So definitely it's not kind of at least not private label. Private label is not a business, but flipping products, if you're wanting like some quick bucks, there's some really cool product flipping opportunities.
Awesome. And I think, given the current environment with the lockdown and everything, I think people will need to be a bit more careful about what products they choose. Because, of course, e-commerce is booming and more people are buying stuff online. But I think consumer behavior will definitely be impacted by all of what's going on. So I think being in a mastermind at this time will be especially beneficial because you can just bounce off ideas of Amy or any of the other people in the mastermind. I think it'll be very beneficial. So Simone is asking. Yeah, go ahead.
It's just been crazy because today I went and checked in and we just launched. So, we're pretty new. And so some of our newer members are posting questions, and already the other founders in the group are just like, they're answering them. And I'm like, you guys, what am I here for? They're awesome. So.
Okay. So Simone is asking, do you offer one-on-one coaching?
Absolutely, Simone. That's actually how I got started and how Amazing at Home was born. I started by writing people's listings and turning their products around. People had products that were not selling, and I would study the market and I would find opportunities for them. I would rewrite their listings, and now I have hundreds of page one listings and clients in every category across Amazon. And that's how Amazing at Home was born. It was people started asking me like, hey, how can I learn what you just did? Because that was awesome, right? So I've been coaching for, well over a year now. And I coach on Mondays and Tuesdays, and you can go to my website and check it out.
Okay. So Lynn is saying, thank you, Amy. I'm excited about joining your mastermind as you have a fresh way of portraying the Amazon journey. Yeah, totally agree, Lynn. I've been following Amy for, I don't know, a year, maybe more now. And I really like how you think, and you bring in fresh ideas and new ways of doing things, and you think outside the Amazon box. I think that's what I really like. Most people do their research and they really just focus on Amazon, but you're looking at the bigger picture. So that's super awesome. Okay, so if we have any more questions, now is the time to ask. And check out Amy's mastermind for sure. So the URL is right here, amazingathome.com/mastermind/ref /30. So it is definitely an affiliate code, as you can see already. So me too, Maureen here. Okay, looks like 2 people are joining you.
And Megla, I just want to add, for those of you who are not ready for a mastermind yet, maybe you're just starting off and you're already in Megla's great groups, and but I do have a Facebook group called Amazing at Home. So if you search for facebook.com/groups/amazing at home, you can always join that group. I have a ton of free training in there on everything, and I'm always going live in there and offering tips, and my goal has always been to build a community. So definitely feel free to join any of my free resources as well.
Right. Oh, thank you, Raj. Raj is showing the URL here. Thank you so much. Yeah, that's very helpful. I think it's easier
Is
for people to click
is promoted
from the
to
comments.
promoter.
Okay, Tricia is saying, thanks, Amy. Always love your positive energy. Yes,
Oh,
absolutely.
thank you.
And then Dano saying, good job, ladies.
Thanks,
Awesome.
Dano. Thanks,
Well,
everybody.
Amy, yeah, thank you so much, Amy. This was absolutely amazing, amazing. And yeah, I hope lots of people over here, will join your mastermind. And yeah, I will also see you in the mastermind group.
Yes, thank you again, Megla, for having me. It was a lot of fun. We'll have to do another one soon where we give some more value. That was fun.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, thanks everyone for joining us today, and we will see you next time. Bye. Have a good weekend.